So the card on the bottom of the deck here is the Page of Water. Page of Water is a communication of love. It is a possible apology from someone significant to you. Depends. Take it as it resonates. Water can pertain also to Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces energy. Could be a younger person, not necessarily. For a lot of you, it'll be about the beginning of a new love in your life. This could be a new relationship. For some of you, this could be beginning a new project that you feel really excited about, something that takes your joy to a new level. If you found that thing that brings you some kind of joy, a sense of meaning in your life, this can be about the beginning of that journey to develop it. So relationships can enter a new phase here. Again, typically a beginning of a phase because the page is kind of early on sort of energy, right? And for some of you, it could be about developing psychic abilities. Maybe you're tapping into your intuition for the first time, or you're reconnecting with it after a period. But either way, then again, it could be that you've been experiencing your intuition, but you're taking it to a new level. So it just, again, as it resonates. Looking good. All right. So we have here Awakening, which is the number 12 card. I'm not a numerologist. Sometimes I do tap in with some of that. This is reading the keynotes, okay? Looking at things from a different perspective, a temporary standstill. It's important to be yourself. Awakening is kind of coming alive within yourself. This ties back to our Page of Water card. There's a sense from a lot of you that your birthday has really brought about an understanding or some kind of increasing awareness of who you are, your place in the world, your role within that, and you want to take that to the point of developing that. I feel this big stirring within a lot of you. It's almost hard to articulate, but it's a big movement. It's very heart chakra located. And 12 breaks down kind of to the number 3. So with that, I think of example, 2 individuals, like a couple, and the birth of something new within that. So for those of you that are in something of a new relationship, it really could be about being, about stepping to the new level and feeling very, very good about that, right? Awakening also kind of implies, like with Archangel Gabriel, kind of implies a message of a sort. And of course, the pages, any of the pages indicate message as well. So it may not be a message from another person per se, but it's almost like there's a divine wake-up call that you've been experiencing. And it really is leading you in this new direction that you feel really excited about, very emotionally fulfilled and pursuing. Very exciting. This is being crossed by the Queen of Air. The Queen of Air. Queen of Air can be truth, honesty, logic, right? Intellectual capability, internet communication, all of this. I'm not sure when we're going forward from the Mercury retrograde, but it is supposed to be turning into a direct motion again quite soon, by the end of the month. And, excuse me, Queen of Air could possibly indicate a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. Does not have to specifically, but this is somebody who's very honest and very truthful. They see things from the bigger picture. They're also quick-witted, so there's a lot of sense of humor and so on. For some of you, this could be a new relationship. It could be that you're connecting with an air sign or someone who relates to the world that way. Doesn't have to specifically be a female person just because it indicates a queen or a king. I do put that out there. But it has more to do with the energy. A queen is somebody who is in charge of his or her life, like mastery, the same way a king might be, right? You have got new beginnings, new love on your mind. For a lot of you, this really is a love reading. Somebody new coming in. Somebody new coming in and developing something. You've met somebody and you're taking it to that new level. Ace of Water, this is on your mind. This may come to pass. Falling in love or the resurgence of a relationship, spiritual growth and enhanced intuition, a new home. Again, something that's very moving to your heart chakra that you feel very passionate about, that you have a love for, whether that's the development of that intuition, whether it's the development of something that you feel loving for, you want to put your energy into that right now. And then we look at what's beneath you. What's the foundation of all of this? Where are you grounded? Knight of Water. This is someone who brings you a passionate message and they mean it. This is not somebody who's only words. Even with the page that we saw earlier on, this page of water in many decks, you'll see the cup that they're offering has a fish in it. This is a tangible offer of love. This is not somebody who's just using their words. This is somebody who means it. Knight of Water can be symbolic of true love. So this is a meaningful relationship. This is not somebody who's just talking to you and making up a bunch of crap. Individual situations can vary. Not everybody's cut from the same mold, so you still want to use your discretion, because there could be many people in your life, and maybe the person you've got your eye on isn't the one that you're going to wind up being in a meaningful relationship with. So take it as it resonates, and of course, always engage your senses and your logic, your discernment as well. If somebody's ringing in a bad way for you, something seems off with that person, go with your gut. That's part of this, is that intuition is going to help guide you to finding that right person. And it may not be the first person to make you an offer of a dating, romantic type relationship. This card, the Balance card, is like the Temperance card in other decks. It has to do with waiting. It's a balance between extremes. It's kind of like, it's really hard when people are falling in love with someone, say, to maintain their sense of autonomy and independence, and not just make that person their higher power, right? With the sense of balance, we're always trying to remember that the healthiest relationships are when two individual persons come together with their own unique needs, interests, personality traits, and all the rest, and they find a balance within that relationship. So whether that's about coming into balance yourself or coming into balance in your new relationship with someone, that will play a role in it, right? That will play a role in it. Sometimes it's less healthy to pursue the person that feels like the sports car. We get that kind of, that feeling, that kind of a internal high, dopamine rush from that person. Sometimes it's about the one that we feel comfortable with, that we can be ourselves with. And this is really much about being in balance within yourself, within your relationships. This is an energy from your recent past, and that may have played a role in this wake-up call we were talking about, because you did feel that you could be yourself and be respected and feel empowered as a human being on your own particular journey, that you were awakened into this, I'm going to try this here, right? I'm going to try this here. For some, this awakening can indicate that kind of a pause of a sort, but it may not be for everyone. If it is a pause, it's going to end quite quickly, because you do have a lot of faster moving energy. Like even the Queen of Air, if that's a situation and not a person, that can indicate quick energy. Knight of Water, he's coming in fast and passionately and impetuously in a way. Not in stupidity, but just knowing this is what I want and this is what I got to do. Now, this does show that in your immediate future, there is some level of weighing things out, determining which is the best for you. So again, you may have multiple offers in romance, and you may be saying, I'm not really sure here, but I need to be careful. This card, the keynotes here state too much going on at once. The need to make a decision and consider a more playful approach. Again, when you relax, don't think about the far-flung result. Think more about, how does this feel in this moment here? Now, that's not to say you're going to suspend that and let any red flags or warning signs, even yellow flags that might be coming up. It doesn't mean you're going to disregard those. You always want to keep your head about you to the extent that you can, but excuse me. But there may be some degree of overwhelm that comes to you if you feel that you're moving too fast. Tell that person, whoever that is that you're dating, that you want to go slow and go as slowly as you feel comfortable, so that you don't feel like you're being swept along into something and losing your ability to have any kind of objective knowledge about the situation. The card representing you is the King of Air. King of air. Again, this is that energy of Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. This is about discernment, knowing what to cut out, knowing what to include, knowing the truth in a situation. And note that because this Queen of air is crossing you, these are a match. Whoever's coming into your life is a match for you intellectually, emotionally, spiritually. You get each other. So if you have multiple options, again, you want to be very careful that in your awakening, you're allowing information to come in, that you're maintaining space for yourself to be in meditation, receiving downloads from source so that you can identify readily the best fit for you. And again, it may not be the person who comes on like the sports car that makes your heart race and everything from go. It might be somebody that you ordinarily might not give a second look to, but they wind up being a very comfortable fit. And I don't mean that there's a lack of passion in that at all. I just mean that, in fact, the emotions cards over there, those water signs, the Ace of Water, the Knight of Water, the Page of Water, that's going to indicate definitely a romantic passion and a getting along together on an emotional sense, for sure. And there's a passion with that. You know, there's a safety and a trust that can happen. That can be a very deep connection. And sex can be extremely good with somebody that you connect with on that level. And certainly air signs, they can be crazy. So I mean that in a really good way. Like, all right. Yeah. But anyway, so this person is going to be a match for you anyway. So they're going to have the intelligence, they're going to have the sense of humor and the fun, to be able to match you in that. So it's not like, you know, don't think that you're going to be drowning by somebody who's going to smother you. It's not like that. They too will have boundaries and a sense of themselves and self-respect and respect for you, to be able to balance out the water and the air. And that turns out to be a really, really good combination, right? Really good combination. Okay. Environment card, 5 of air. It's warning about an unwise choice or learning what you can from a situation, reviewing everyone's motives. Again, I feel like there may be somebody who presents himself to you as being this Queen of air, King of air, balance, awakening person, this romantic person, and they may just be yet another fly by night. So be very careful here that you're choosing the right person. Go as slow as you need to be able to weed them out beforehand. One thing sometimes we don't realize too is, you know, if we get sexually involved with a person, our logic flies out the window because we're in that survival part of our brain where dopamine and dopamine rush is produced. But that's the same areas of the brain that are stimulated in drug addiction or other types of process addiction. So we have to be very careful. It's hard to think logically and clearly when we're allowing our libido to take over, because that's ultimately what can happen. So, you know, again, you may want to weigh and choose that, and be sure that you're acting within your own self or best interests, but also not missing opportunities too, because you know, you think it's person A when it's really person B's been waiting to see what you were going to do and how you were going to react or handle the situation. Your hopes and fears as lovers. I don't feel like you guys want that player stuff. There may be exceptions to this that are listening, but I think that for the most part, those of you want a real relationship and you have a true and honest potential to have that here. This Queen of Air energy person who balances your King of Air. Again, it's somebody, you may meet them online. Not always. It could be through travel or some sort of a communication. If you work in communications or something like that, it could be there. It could be at work. But this Lover's card is about balance. It's about meeting the polar balance for you. These cards are very related, I might add. The Lovers and the Balance card. Lover's card can indicate Gemini, and notice that you've got a lot of air. Your environment was 5 of air and having an issue with that. I'm not feeling though like I don't feel like the 5 of air is coming from this person though. I think the King of Air, Queen of Air is relating to this Lovers and the balance between those. Your Temperance card right here, your balance. This person that's coming in is not the person from the 5 of air, but be very careful because some of you may choose the wrong person. And when in doubt, slow down. You know, I like to think of it this way. You know, the person that's really going to love you and truly, truly love you is going to want to wait for you. Like, it doesn't mean that they won't make their rapid decisions either and then live to regret it later either. But if it's for you, it won't fly by you. Like it really won't. You're not going to miss that love of your life soulmate opportunity. It's not going to be missed for you. It may take stops and starts to get there. But part of what we're doing here as we're preparing for these types of relationships is we're trying to give that an opportunity to come in. We have to clear the space to make room for it. Your final outcome card is passion. Passion coming in, things moving very, very quickly. That delay that I mentioned in the awakening card, that's kind of where you're at right now. As you're trying to get yourself into balance and you're trying to figure out what you wanted to do moving forward in the new year of your life, right? This is about those delays ending. Lots of things are happening. Lots of communications are coming in. Again, there may be, if you're on a dating website or something, there may be a lot of opportunities and options coming in. You might be meeting with a lot of people. Go with your gut. Don't allow somebody else's neediness to convince you that they're the one. Allow yourself to go with your gut and give yourself space and time to check in with yourself and receive those important downloads from the divine source that will tell you, yes or no, or maybe not. Right? So this can be some fast moving energy, but as was alluded to in this Two of Earth, there may be a sense of overwhelm that's coming, right? So be careful not to become too darned overwhelmed because other people have to hit the gas before you're ready to do so. Now, last, I do want to do a Healing with the Angels Oracle card. And I shuffled them before we started, but I will kind of bounce them around a little bit and see if we can get a card that relates to your reading here today, Sagittarius. So I'd like to ask our angel helpers today, spiritual guides and others. Oops, that card wanted to come out, but I sort of knuckled it under, lost it. Please jump that card again if necessary. All right, celebration. I love that beautiful full moon. We've got a new full moon coming up. I think it's on the 22nd of December this month. Good news. Cause for celebration is here, and it is time for you to enjoy the fruits of your labor. The angels want you to know this is a light-filled time in your life. You have been working toward making changes, and your intentions have now manifested into form. This is the time for you to fill your heart with a warm feeling of gratitude. The angels ask you through this card to hold strong in this gratitude. You are like a gardener who plants seeds and nurtures them because she has faith that her labors will yield new growth. Keep watering and tending to your seeds, and you will soon see them sprouting through the surface. The angels are your co-gardeners who will help you tend your crop. Yes, this card has a lot to do with your intentions. And even as you're awakening, and you're understanding a little bit more about your soul purpose, your journey, your meaning in life, where you want to go, who you are, and you're connecting with that. There's that celebration that occurs when you understand that and taking the time to enjoy and to celebrate your intuitions and your wisdoms, your wisdom that keeps opening and opening and opening and revealing more and more layers of who you are and who you can be, your divine and raw potential. This is a celebration. This is a celebration of you and who you are and the unique gifts that you bring.